Good afternoon, everybody. We are back here again, seeing if this is going to happen tonight. We'll see. We don't know yet. We tried yesterday, and then the launch was scrubbed. We are here to cover the SpaceX Starship 10th flight test. We got video courtesy of the launch pad on YouTube, who've been very nice to let us use their video. When we get closer to the launch time, then we'll get the SpaceX video. But SpaceX doesn't go live until about a half an hour before launch. So I want to shout out the launch pad. They are a very popular space news channel on YouTube. I'm going to put the link to the launch pad in the chat right now. So shout out to them for letting us use their footage. And again, hopefully we get that far. Assuming we get that far, we'll switch over to the SpaceX footage when they go live. Will it happen? I don't know. SpaceX said today that there was a 55% chance that the weather would cooperate, if I have that right. Did I post that on the wrong account? Could have swore I reposted it. Let's see. Maybe I reposted on the wrong account. No. Oh, oops. I reposted it from the wrong account. Once in a while that happens. I got to repost it from my account, not the Agenda Free TV account. All right, hold on. Let me pull this up for you. Once in a while, that happens. I'll let you see what they said. They said weather is currently 55% favorable. Check it out right. Is this going to work? Let's see. If I do this. Hold on. Let's do it this way. Let's do it this way. They said, counting down to Starship's 10th flight test, weather is currently 55% favorable for launch at the start of the window. So we'll just have to see. I'm gonna show you the weather radar in a second too. By the way, hey, thanks so much to Alexander Wording, who's in Europe. Alexander, that's so kind of you. Thanks, Alexander. I really appreciate that. Also, hey, shout out to our moderators. Janet B. Is here. Thank you, Janet. Uh-oh, what's that? I don't know what that is. That seems to be some kind of video. Well, we'll go back to that. We'll go back to their coverage in a second. Hold on a second here. I got the coverage back. One moment. One moment here. I got it here. Give me a second. Give me a second. Give me a second. All right, so I need to get this out of the way. I need to get that out of the way. And then I need to get this here. Oops. Almost there. Yes, here it is. There is the video from the launch pad right there. Hang on a second here. Again, SpaceX says the weather, it's a 55% chance that the weather will cooperate. 55% chance favorable for launch. I also have Oh, thanks to Janet B for moderating, by the way. I wore the same shirt and tie as yesterday. I figured it's the same test flight we're covering, so I wore this. I'm going to keep wearing the same shirt and tie for this until it actually happens. Thanks also to our moderators. Becca says there was no alert for YouTube. If YouTube didn't send out an alert, I'm sorry. What I would recommend, the best alerts are the Discord alerts. Those are the most reliable. Those are our own. We've set up our own alert system. I would definitely sign up for that. The mods can post the link in the chat, and also in the description of this video on YouTube and Facebook, you can find the link to our own alerts. But I would sign up to our own alerts. Those are the most reliable ones. Thanks 13 Alamo for moderating over on Twitch. Linda Belk, Larry, and Misha moderate for us on X. A bunch of people said they got the YouTube alert. So maybe make sure your notifications are turned on, because a lot of people are saying in the chat they got the YouTube alert. Kay Larry Body's moderating over there on Facebook. Margaret Riley as well. Thank you. Okay, so let me see if we have any updates here. I haven't heard it's not happening. I'll keep an eye out. Hey, thanks, Jiggle Jess. Number 1 H8R. I appreciate that, Jiggle Jess. Thanks for your support. I really appreciate it. And Taco Truck Engineer. So, I know a bunch of you follow SpaceX stuff and follow space stuff, but some of you probably are not familiar with this ship. SpaceX has been developing this Starship launch vehicle, which is the most powerful launch vehicle ever created. It's still in the testing stage. This is an uncrewed flight. It has not had crewed flights. This is an uncrewed test flight. The last 3 flight tests, 7, 8, and 9, have resulted in explosions of the Starship spacecraft. And also in June, the Starship spacecraft exploded on the ground during testing. So they're hoping to have a better, I would say a test that completes more of the goals than the last 3. And we'll see what happens if they actually launch today. This spacecraft, this space launch vehicle, it consists of the top, which is the Starship spacecraft, and the bottom, which is the super heavy booster on the bottom. NASA is hoping to use this they're going to use the Starship to bring astronauts to the moon for their Artemis project. Maybe as soon as 2027, that might be pushing it though. But NASA's counting on this. Also, Elon Musk wants to use this to take people to Mars. He wants to use it to launch bigger satellites for Starlink internet, which he also runs. He owns it. Does he run it? I'm going to assume that's a yes. I'd have to look that up, though. But, it's not clear. It's unclear whether this testing will end up resulting in a launch vehicle that has been confirmed safe and reliable and certified to fly, and certified to carry astronauts, and certified to conduct all kinds of missions. Now, Starlink is manufactured by SpaceX. SpaceX is founded by Elon Musk, who is also the CEO. Hadrian thinks it ain't going to blast off today. Well, there's a question about the weather. Yesterday, there was some sort of issue with on the ground, they said, that prevented it from taking off. Yesterday, they said, SpaceX, that if I can read it to you here. Where is it? They said they were standing down to allow time to troubleshoot an issue with ground systems. That was yesterday. I mean, apparently they got it figured out because this is scheduled for today. Oh, did they post on their website about it? Marvin said something about it in the chat. Maybe they posted about it online. I didn't see that. Let's see here. All right, so it wasn't posted on their X account. Did Elon Musk post about it? Maybe I missed that. I don't see... Oh, yes. Elon Musk said yesterday that a ground-side liquid oxygen leak needs to be fixed. He said it was a ground-side liquid oxygen leak. I guess it got fixed because they're planning on launching today. Thanks to our viewers who mentioned that. I had missed that. Alex Jenner says, what happens if it's scrubbed today? When is the next day? I don't know. Can they just try it tomorrow at the same time? I don't know when the next launch window is. The launch time is currently scheduled for 7:30 Eastern. I believe, yesterday there was a 1 hour window for launch. I assume it's similar today. Did they say on their website that it's a 1 hour window? I'm going to check out their site and see if it says. It just says launch window on the website. It doesn't say 1 hour launch window. That's what it was last night. Oh, let me show you what the radar looks like. Hey, look. This is the radar from Radar Omega. So we're looking at southern Texas, right near the border of Mexico. That's where SpaceX is located, in Starbase, Texas. And if you look down here, so basically you're looking in really right where my pointer is here. Right at the bottom here, where my pointer is circling around there. So there's certainly rain in the area. That's clear. Again, right around here is where the launch is. But so you can see on the radar Omega, that's the radar from the last couple of hours, precipitation radar. No, it is uncrewed flight today. Hey, thanks to Miss Curvy. He says, I'm not sure this is a good idea, all these rockets messing around in space. Thanks, Miss Curvy. I appreciate that. Also, thanks to Cruella. Thank you, Cruella, for your support. Also, CC. Hey, CC, that's really nice of you. Thank you. Also, Dodger Blue, our member. And Ronald Kame, thank you. Ed Weeby for the gift membership. Thank you, Ed Weeby. Thanks, Deb, and our member. Trident 1, our member. The Top Dog, our member. Tim S, our member. Thanks for being members. Also, Graybeard Games over there on Twitch. Dark Crypto on Twitch. Thank you. Selena Bravo says, I'm here. The sky is clear. Well, I mean, I can show you the live shot from the launch pad. Here is oops, right there. That's from the launch pad on YouTube, a popular space channel. Check them out, the launch pad on YouTube. They've been nice enough to let us use their video before we get the SpaceX video. I mean, is that clear? On the left, the shot looks cloudy. Marky B. Yeah thinks it won't happen. Maybe we'll do a poll about whether it'll happen today. This spacecraft, this space launch vehicle, the booster and the spacecraft, it is designed to be, when all is said and done, it's supposed to be completely rapidly reusable. Both the top and the bottom, the spacecraft and the booster, are supposed to be able to come back and land from where they took off and be reused. I don't know if they'd land exactly where they took off. Maybe one would land in one place and one in another place. Hey, thanks to Evelyn V for the memberships. I really appreciate that. Evelyn V AZ, that's so nice of you. Let me check something here. Oh, you know, it's interesting. One of our viewers just mentioned this. On their website, they claim that they're going to go live in 23 minutes. That's what they said. For now, we'll see if that happens. We'll have the live video when they go live. Ooh, I need to do something here. All right, let's do a poll. Will this happen today? Oopsie. Sorry. Here we go. Will the launch happen today? I'm posting the poll right now. Maybe it'll even work on Facebook today. Who knows? Yes, I don't even know if you can see the poll in Facebook. I hope you can see it on Facebook. Facebook has not been, surprise, surprise, not been working great lately. All right, let me show you guys what you are saying about whether this is going to happen today. Show you guys what. Yeah, Facebook, show you guys everything's all messed up with their polls. Their polls are not working properly. I'm sorry, Facebook, about that. Show you guys everything's all messed up with their polls. Their polls are not working. Sorry. All right, here is what you guys said, except on Facebook, because the poll seems to be not working there. Surprise, surprise. Here is on YouTube, 58% of you say yes, it will happen today. 42% say no, it will not happen today. And on Twitch, Twitch is a little more skeptical. Not that far off. 55% say no on Twitch. 45% say yes. Oopsie, what happened here? What happened here? There we go. Hey, thanks to, oopsie, sorry, everything messed up. Yabba Dabba Doo, thank you. And I appreciate that. Yabba Dabba Doo. Also, JT says staying positive for a successful launch today. Thanks also, Mitchell Pilot. So nice of you, Mitchell Pilot. Thank you. Thanks for voting in our poll. So YouTube 59% yes, Twitch 58% no. We'll see who's right. I don't know. I feel like maybe once we've tried to cover a launch and had to cover it 3 times. Usually it happens on the second time. I mean, but maybe we've done this once where we covered it twice and then it didn't happen, then we covered it a 3rd time. It's just I can't tell. I don't want to wait to come on 1 minute before the launch, right? So I want to give a normal amount of time so we can discuss it and talk about it and, you know, get on a bit in advance. But it's just the nature of the thing. You don't know. Green Forest Bear says no scrub today, right? Well, we'll see. We'll have to see. We don't know. Now, where'd you see this? U.S. Rights and Freedom said it's 59% weather chances. Did they post about it? They said 55% a short while ago. Maybe they just posted an update. Yeah, the last update I saw from SpaceX was an hour ago, roughly an hour ago, and they said weather is currently 55% favorable for the start of the window. Let me give you a little background here. Reuters says that Elon Musk's SpaceX on Sunday called off the launch of Starship's 10th mission from Texas over an issue at its launch site, delaying an attempt to achieve several long-sought development milestones missed due to past tests ending in early failures. The 232-foot-tall Super Heavy booster, that's on the bottom, and its 171-foot-tall Starship upper half on the top, sat stacked on a launch mount at SpaceX's Starbase rocket facilities as it was being filled with propellant ahead of its liftoff time. And this says 7:30. No, yesterday was 7:35, it said. I thought it was 7:30 yesterday. Roughly 30 minutes from liftoff, yesterday SpaceX said it was standing down to allow time to troubleshoot an issue with ground systems. As we mentioned earlier, Elon Musk said that what had happened was that they needed to fix, a ground side liquid oxygen leak. But apparently that has been fixed. You can see Reuters says SpaceX aims to overcome Starship setbacks with 10th flight test. They say development of SpaceX's next generation rocket, key to the company's powerful launch business and Musk's goal to send humans to Mars, has faced repeated hiccups this year. NASA hopes to use this rocket as soon as 2027 for its first crewed moon landing since the Apollo program. SpaceX's Starlink satellite business, a major source of company revenue, is also tied to Starship's success. Musk aims to use Starship to launch larger batches of Starlink satellites. Oh, is it larger batches, not larger satellites? I guess it's larger batches. My bad. Which have so far been deployed by SpaceX's workhorse Falcon 9 rocket into space. On Sunday, Musk said in about 6 or 7 years, there will be days where Starship launches more than 24 times in 24 hours. I'd like to pull up that post from him. He said it on Sunday in a reply. Seeing if I can find it quickly. Yes, what he said is, he said in about 6 or 7 years, there will be days where Starship launches more than 24 times in 24 hours. He also said 24 a day would be peak. Sustained is more like 10 a day. That's what he said. I'm reading it right now. I have to build a bunch more of them, I guess. All right, we're at less than an hour until scheduled launch time right now. Again, it's not clear this will happen today. Now, according to, are they doing propellant load already? Because that's supposed to happen. Oh, the go for propellant load is supposed to be verified an hour and 15 minutes before launch time. The time changed? What do you mean the time changed? Do you mean on the website for the live broadcast? Was there a delay? Hold on. Now people are saying there's a delay. Hang on a moment. Now I'm looking at the website. The website still says 58 minutes. The website, I'm literally looking at the SpaceX website. It says T 58 minutes and 42 seconds. Oh, they posted about it? I'm so confused. All right, hold on a second here. Thanks for the update. Let me see. What's their latest post? No, they haven't posted again. They haven't posted since over an hour ago. Why are you saying that? I am looking on their website and it says T minus 5750. That's what it says on their website. So I don't know why people are saying an hour and 13 minutes. Where is this? Refresh the site? Refresh it? Really? You're right. It doesn't automatically refresh. Hey guys, good call. Okay, according to the website, it is now 1 hour and 11 minutes. 1 hour and 11 minutes and 10 seconds. So it's a 14-minute delay. Yeah, so I got to change the clock now because I'm going off their website. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I don't know. I just updated my clock. Point Vogel says they have only an hour window today. I mean, I haven't seen that confirmed, but I know they had an hour yesterday. So like you said, that would make it 46 minutes left if they just pushed it to 14 minutes. Yeah, the official clock on, well, the clock on the SpaceX website now says an hour and 10 minutes. My clock is pretty well synced up to the, it's almost just like a second or two off from the SpaceX clock. Roger Shoemaker thinks at this rate it won't launch. I don't know. I wish I could tell you in advance. Thank you, PZ Papa Zulu. But please keep it on topic, PZ Papa Zulu. Thank you. I appreciate that. Please keep posts on topic. Luke says every launch has a 1 hour window as they can't hold the fuel longer. One of our viewers just said something caused a 13-minute delay. I don't know what caused that delay. What caused them to bump it up 14 minutes later. I don't know if it's just a weather thing or something else. Oh, SpaceX's Jesse Anderson posted, keeping our eyes peeled on the weather. Like 5 minutes ago. I don't know. We'll have to just see. We'll have to just see. I really wish I could tell you guys in advance, but I just don't know. We don't know. Hold on. Hold on, hold on, hold on. There we go. But again, that is from SpaceX's Jesse Anderson said, keeping our eyes peeled on the weather 5 minutes ago. Shout out to NASA Spaceflight for catching that. Oh, thanks to PA Jeeper 420. That's really nice of you. Thanks so much. I appreciate that. PA Jeeper 420. According to the website, it still has it at 1 hour, 7 minutes. It's basically my clock right there. That's the website. That's the official launch time on their website. Reuters says development of SpaceX's next generation rocket, the center of the company's powerful launch business future and Musk's Mars ambitions, has faced repeated hiccups this year. 2 Starship testing failures early in flight, another failure in space on its 9th flight, and a massive test stand explosion in June that sent debris flying into nearby Mexican territory have tested SpaceX's test-to-failure development approach. Basically, they do more tests than your usual space development company. And their approach is to test more and to learn from the failures during the testing. NASA hopes to use the rocket as soon as 2027 for its first crewed moon landing since the Apollo program. The setbacks recently underscore the technical complexities of Starship's latest iteration, which is packed with far more capabilities such as increased thrust, a potentially more resilient heat shield, and stronger steering flaps, crucial to nailing its atmospheric reentry, key traits for Starship's rapid reusability that Musk has long pushed for. The booster will not be coming back to be caught by the mechanical chopstick arms on the launch pad for this test flight. It will be doing a soft water landing in order to test a pack-up engine configuration in the Gulf of Mexico. That's what's supposed to happen for this flight test. All right, so again, right now, 1 hour, 5 minutes to launch. If we get to about a half hour before launch, that's when SpaceX will go live and we'll have that video for you. Really grateful to the launch pad on YouTube for allowing us to use their video before then. I'm going to post a link to their site, their channel, a very popular space channel, the launch pad, so really nice of them. Thanks to Big Dog Gaming, by the way, for your support. Let me read some more comments for you. Manic Miner thinks if NASA was doing this, it would cost taxpayers billions. Be thankful it's private enterprise. Orvis says with Elon's government handouts, it is costing taxpayers billions. I don't know all the accounting. Certainly SpaceX has government contracts that it has gotten. And also, I believe, development funding in the past. But I don't know all the accounting numbers. Thanks, by the way, to Boastful Giant. The article said Gulf of Mexico, so that's what I read, Boastful Giant. Our viewer Dinar says, geez, took a phone call and now it's back over an hour. Yeah, they bumped it about 14 minutes. They delayed it. I haven't seen any updates the last few minutes. As soon as I do, I'll let you know. Tom Witcher says fueling should begin soon. I have not heard that they're doing propellant load yet. Normally, they would announce that, correct? Because they have not said it that I saw. I have not seen that they have proceeded with loading propellant. Oh, thanks again to P.A. Jeeper, who thinks that SpaceX does what NASA does for 1/10 the price. That's what P.A. Jeeper thinks. Thank you, P.A. Jeeper. I really appreciate that. P.A. Jeeper 420. Oh, is there another delay? Hold on. It has just been pushed back 15 more minutes. Uh-oh. Guys, I don't know about this. It just got pushed back. I can see it on their website. 15 more minutes. Oh my gosh. Isn't the window only an hour? If the window is an hour, they've already used up about half their window. Yeah, it's 1:16 now. Thanks for the alert, Bill Whitmer, in the chat. I am looking literally at their website. I am synced up with their clock on the website. 1:15:48. So they have now done 2 delays. They've delayed it about a half an hour so far. They did say a couple hours ago, I believe it was, that there was a 55% chance the weather would be okay. That means a 45% chance it's not okay. Our viewer, one of our viewers said, hold on a second here. Where is it here? CAC thinks I'll be hanging up my shirt and we'll be doing yet another live stream of this. Jean Paul LaChance, I'll be checking the radar in a second. Sean O says there is a 1 hour window. Well, they've already used up half of it. The Fry in all of us says it ain't over till it's over. Fanatic says another delay. Mort 730 says delays don't sound good. Annunciant Pistol says better safe than sorry. Cravon thinks, oh well, another day then. Luke Spark says weather holding pattern not looking good. I can't find the quote. Somebody made a comment saying, you'll know they're loading propellant because you'll see this. Anyways, I have not heard that they are loading propellant yet. Well, we'll know soon one way or the other. But the SpaceX website now says 1 hour, 13 minutes. It's the time I have in the clock. That's what the time the SpaceX website says. Hey, Sharon Heberling is here. Hello, Sharon. Oops, you know what I got to do? I got to refresh my chat window here. Appreciate you guys watching. I hope we can have a launch for you today. I just don't know. We'll have to see. What happened here? Thanks to our moderators. Janet B. is over there moderating. Robert's Wait May Queen on YouTube. Also, Kay Lowry Body on Facebook. Margaret Riley over there. Our viewer Michelle Batten on Facebook says, no more delay, please. Hey, thanks to Michael Clayton for subscribing over there on Facebook. Thank you. Oh, thanks to Boastful Giant. Will I be going to Mars when people start going over so you can get live news coverage? Maybe for everyone on Mars, it would be like such a delay. There'd be a big delay between when I can report stuff and when you would get it. I don't think I'm going anytime soon. Thank you, though. I really appreciate that. Thanks to Sky B also for being a member. Thanks to 13 Alamo, Bash and Girl on Twitch for moderating, LB Prairie Dawn, Matthew Kohai 3, Sarah, Kay and Margaret on Facebook again. Thank you. Linda Bell, Clary, and Misha on X. So we are supposedly an hour and 11 minutes from launch. We don't know if it's happening today. From everything I have heard, there's an hour launch window. That's what it was yesterday. A number of our viewers are saying it's the same window today, but they've now delayed it about halfway through the launch window. The launch window opens at 7:30 Eastern, but the current projected launch time is 7:58. I think maybe 7:59 Eastern. Hey, thanks to our member Boastful Giant. Thanks Nick Rose, who thinks they might launch last second. Oregon guy thinks it's not looking good for a launch today. Let's take a look at the radar for a second. Weather radar. This is radar Omega. That is, and the launch site is down here. In here. See where it says Boca Chica? You can actually zoom in. See right there it says Starbase Build Site. Starbase sign. So that's where Starbase is here. But if we zoom out, you can see that there's definitely rain in the southern Texas area. That's the best I can tell you. But I don't know what they look at specifically and how they're going to decide. I know they're looking at the weather because a person from SpaceX posted that about 20 minutes ago. But we'll have to see what happens. Jonathan Wysikoski said he bet on a scrub and also an explosion. I don't know if he's being serious or joking. Maybe he found a place that he could bet on it. Anyways, we did a poll earlier. People seem to be split about whether there would be this launch today. That was before those delays, though. Frank Smith says, I need extra popcorn now. Thanks, Sky B, for being a member for a year. NSF, which is NASA spaceflight, said it was pushed due to weather. That's what NASAspaceflight.com said. They said it was pushed due to weather. They say I can't confirm that, but they say that is the worry. And we know a SpaceX person, Jesse Anderson, said they were keeping their eye on the weather. Hey, thanks, Gina Marie, for being a member. PA Jeeper thinks they want optimal conditions and any potential weather isn't worth the risk. Thanks, Frank Smith, for watching. As soon as I have any more updates, I'll give them to you. But they're going to run out of... They can't keep delaying it. I feel like maybe what's happening, maybe I'm wrong, is they keep getting down to about an hour and then they delay it. Is that because they don't want to load the propellant? Now, NASAspaceflight.com, which you can check out at NASA Spaceflight, they're claiming that they're waiting to hold for the propellant load. Because of the weather. So we certainly have not heard from anyone that they've loaded propellant yet. And the propellant load, according to the SpaceX website, an hour and 15 minutes before launch is when they give a go for propellant load. So I have heard nothing to suggest that propellant is loading so far. Wild Bill thinks it's lightning that's the issue. Gavin House says, I've never seen a launch in these conditions. Schrodinger's cat thinks it sounds like a pre-scrub. Oh. So Wikipedia has an article about launch commit criteria. Now, they don't have on there They have Falcon 9. They don't have Starship, but for Falcon 9, which is a SpaceX rocket, right? For that, it says that if there's too much wind on the launch pad, wind shear in upper level conditions, a cloud layer greater than 4,500 feet thick that extends into freezing temperatures. There's different things about clouds. There's lightning, thunderstorm cloud. There's all these different possibilities. So I'll actually post a link to that on Wikipedia. Again, that's for Falcon 9, which is a SpaceX rocket. But maybe the criteria for Starship are similar. But there's a bunch of different weather reasons that they would not launch. Brian Birch says lots of clouds today, not looking good. Gustavo thinks they should scrub again. Hermit Ersatz says, I'm still maintaining my optimism. Van Gambler is watching. Tina Marie thinks they're not ready. I feel like just intuitively it's not feeling that promising right now. But who knows? I guess because we've already had 2 delays. I mean, it's not just intuitively. We've already had 2 delays and they're not loading propellant yet. And it certainly doesn't look like blue sky on the shots that we have from courtesy of the launch pad. Are they doing prop load? Hold on. Viewers say it's a go for prop load. Breaking news. Starship SpaceX just posted, guys, they're a go for prop load. Maybe this is going to happen. Look, they're a go for prop load. They just posted. Oh my gosh. Look at this. Wow. Go for prop load. Our chat is on it. Did they do prop load yesterday? Can't remember. Oopsie. Hold on. Hey, thanks, Boastful Giant. I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, this is unmanned. Again, this is the future for SpaceX. This is the launch vehicle that's supposed to take NASA astronauts to the moon next. Elon Musk wants to have it take people to Mars. He wants to use it to launch larger amounts of Starlink satellites. So this is the future for SpaceX. Right now, it's the future for the NASA manned moon program. But it's not guaranteed that this whole project will work out. Tiger Metal Stack said they did do propellant load yesterday. So I don't know if we're going to have a launch. But they are doing propellant load. B. Earhart says window closes at 8:30. A number of viewers have said it's a 1-hour window. The window opens at 7:30 Eastern, but they're not going to launch then. The current takeoff time is 7:59, I think it is, Eastern. All right, so we're at go for prop load. Ronco Jr. says, calm down, it's a prop load. Propellant is being loaded. Spaceflight Now says the cloud cover over the staircase is increasing. Where can I get? You know what? Satellite. Oh, guys, I have this. I forgot. I was showing you the precipitation radar. Let's look at the satellite from Radar Omega. Look, I can show you this. Okay, Radar Omega, this is the satellite. Now, I don't really know how to read this, but I can tell you it is the satellite. Well, you can see the time right up here. So this actually goes up to 3 minutes ago. This is the last hour, and that's cloud cover. So right around where my pointer is down here is where the launch is. So this is southern Texas. So this at least shows you what we're looking at in terms of clouds. Again, they have different satellites here. Oh, there's different ones. I wonder if this will give me anything. I don't want to start messing with this because I have no idea what I'm doing. It says Kunis. What if I do Gulf of Mexico Central? That's the Central Gulf of Mexico. That's it. Oh, no, we want continental United States. That's what we want. That's the one we got to use. Continental United States. Right. So look, this will show you. See, look at the clouds down there. There you go. That is from the last hour. That's an interesting picture. We'll see if it works. All right, there is that live shot, courtesy of the launch pad. We're under 1 hour again till launch. Is this going to happen today? I do not know. But they are a go for propellant load. I haven't seen any other updates. So Mama says, are we really going to launch tonight? I don't know. We will have, if the countdown keeps going, another milestone is, do they actually start their live stream, SpaceX? Because their live stream is supposed to start in 13 minutes. According to their website, their live stream is supposed to start in 13 minutes. So will they actually start their live stream? I don't know. Sharon Patton says, hope it's go for tonight. Hey, Paul Anderson is modding too. Thanks, Paul. I appreciate that. The 7th, 8th, and 9th test flights all had explosions in them of the Starship. In the 7th and 8th, they were early in the flight. In the 9th, the failure was in space. And in June, there was a massive test stand explosion of the SpaceX Starship on the ground. Reuters says SpaceX has a lengthy to-do list for Starship's development before the rocket begins routine missions envisioned by Musk. That includes demonstrating safe returns from space, payload deployments in orbit, and complex in-space propellant refuelings crucial to its moon mission assignments from NASA. Today, the rocket system is supposed to launch and separate in half dozens of miles in altitude, with its super heavy booster returning for a water landing off the Texas coast, while Starship ignites its own engines to blast further into space. In space, if this happens today, Starship is supposed to attempt to deploy mock Starlink satellites and reignite an engine along its suborbital path around the globe. atmospheric reentry over the Indian Ocean, will test its exterior steering flaps and an array of experimental heat shield tiles as the ship blazes through intense friction and heat, says Reuters. Hey, thanks Heels S for the membership. Thanks also to Boastful Giant. I'd love to check out a launch in person. I mean, up close. I've seen them in the way in the distance when I lived in Florida, but not up close. But maybe one day. I'm sure it'd be really crazy to see. It'd be really impressive. Thanks, Luke Sparks, for being a member. Tennessee Tornado, thanks for being a member. Braveheart says, will liftoff happen this time? It beats me. So far, it's scheduled to happen. They haven't started their live stream yet. I think that's a big thing. I don't think they want to start their live stream and then not have it launch. So I'm very interested in seeing if they start their live stream or not. Again, the launch is scheduled for about 55 minutes from now. Blank Show Joe says conditions don't look good weather-wise. Les Bowman asked about the testing of Neutron with Rocket Lab. I'll have to look it up. I don't know anything about that. I'm looking it up right now. A partially reusable medium lift launch vehicle? I don't know. I'll have to look it up. Maiden flight late 2025. Maybe we'll cover it. I don't know. I don't really know about it. I got to do my research. Some of you know a lot more about space than I do. Michelle says, how does the weather have an impact on launch? Under certain conditions, they won't launch. I don't know the specifics of why, but we were talking about some of them earlier. If there's a certain amount of cloud cover, if there's lightning nearby, thunderstorms, these are the kind of things. If it's too windy, for whatever reason, those kind of things will prevent them from doing a launch. Oh, our viewer Galance mentioned that the UNH Police Department, University of New Hampshire Police Department, said they responded to a report of shots fired, and there were at the library, and there were no shots fired, and the call was a hoax. Earlier today, at the University of Arkansas, there was a report of shots fired, which there weren't actually shots fired. Then yesterday, there was the one at, what was that yesterday? I don't even remember them all. South Carolina. That was a report of shots fired at the library, and there were no shots there. So I just saw the one, thanks to Galance for sending that in. Thanks again to so much to the launch pad on YouTube, who is letting us show you their footage before the SpaceX live stream starts. Big shout out to them. Okay, so SpaceX, I'm looking at their website, still says 51 minutes and 48 seconds. They say their live stream is going to start in 6 minutes. Is that true? I do not know. Supposedly, their live stream is starting in 6 minutes. You know what I got to do? Let me just get something ready here. Just if it really does start in 6 minutes, I want to be ready. All right, one moment. Just one moment here. Hey, Jean-Paul Lachance, thanks for the gift memberships. That's super nice of you. Jean-Paul Lachance. Also, Heels S, thanks for the gift membership. Let me read some more comments here. Chris N says, big vent. Oregon guy thinks they are chilling the lines now for fueling to start. Slippy says, big tower vents. Callie Raven says, it looks like they're loading on the video. Yes, as Hippies Collectibles says, no chopsticks catch is scheduled for this launch. Hey, Donna Smith, thanks for the memberships. That's really nice of you. Donna Smith, thank you. Hedgehog thinks the fueling has just started. Yeah, I agree with you. Lithium or Litmum said they usually start the webcast a half hour before. I mean, I'm just going on the timing. For timing, I'm just going off what their website says. The website still has the webcast starting at 7:13 in 4 minutes, but maybe they won't start it then. That would be about 45 minutes before the launch time. Yeah, so I don't know if that's, maybe they're not going to start the webcast in 4 minutes. The primary test objectives for the booster will be focused on its landing burn and will use unique engine configurations. They say the Starship upper stage will again target multiple in-space objectives, says SpaceX, including the deployment of 8 Starlink simulators, simulated satellites. A relight of a single Raptor engine while in space of the Starship is also planned. Yeah, I'm not sure if the SpaceX stream is starting when they say, when it's at the time on the web page. That says 3 minutes. Josh says things are getting gassy. Hey, is the fact that we're seeing, so some of you space experts can say this, the fact that we're seeing the white cloudiness at the base, so can we conclude from that that the loading has begun now? I mean, they said they were loading. They already said they were loading. But you space experts, Ethan Richards says it's a good sign. Chaz Martin says yes. DJ Dava says that is propellant. Phil says it's liquid nitrogen. Austin says the loading has begun. Marvin said they only said they're a go for loading, but not that they're loading. I don't know if they announced that they're loading or they just do it, because they said they were a go for loading. Stephen Clark, who's a space reporter, wrote Anvil Cloud moving over Starbase. Now, is Anvil Cloud one of those no-nos for them? I have to look that up. Luke says Starship does not use nitrogen. It is methane oxygen mix. I can go to their website. They say liquid methane and liquid oxygen is what they use, as our viewer just said. Because I'm literally looking at their ship fuel, liquid methane, ship LOX, liquid oxygen load. Those are the two. Then they have booster fuel. What is the booster propellant? Is it the same thing or different? Booster also uses liquid oxygen and liquid methane. That's what they are. Liquid oxygen and liquid methane. Yeah, people are saying the same, and I just confirmed that. Hang on a moment. Hang on a moment. No, SpaceX is not live yet. I'm on their website. They're not live yet. Thank you so much to Boastful Giant. Thank you. I just literally checked their website. On X they're live, but not on their website? No. Well, are they really live then? Let's see. Hold on. On their website, isn't it just their logo right now? They're not actually doing the broadcast yet on their website. Hold on. They're just playing the, sorry. On their website they are showing like pre-recorded video of the spacecraft. But I guess maybe that's the start of their broadcast. So that's on their website. I mean, that's on their X page. That's not on their website. Why isn't the website live? The website is still not live. It's live on X, but not their website. All right, hold on a moment. Hang on. I can't play the music anyway. Give me a moment. Give me a moment. It's still not live on their website. On their X account. Oh, now their X account is showing it. All right, hold on a second. Hang on a moment here. This is odd. Their X account is showing it live. And I have access through Reuters and AFP. All right, can you guys give me a moment here? Give me a moment here. What's the audio? Is it music or not? All right, hold on.
Starlink simulate.
Hold on. Just hold on a second. We will get this for you. Give me 2 seconds here. Give me 2 seconds here. Thanks for your patience. Just give me a second. Let me get it up there for you. You don't have volume. You don't have volume.
Well, and I are just going to enter this live cast.
All right, so
add a little flavor.
data is humanly possible.
Right now we're counting
That'll get
down.
us all the bit. We're just getting closer and closer to a fully operational Starship.
Give me one moment here. I have to get this the right way.
Well, and I are just going to enter this live cast.
Hold on.
All right, so
add a little flavor.
yeah, right now we're counting down, but we're about to launch the largest flying object ever made. But this isn't on the radar for everybody, and we know that. So we want to kind of take a beat, pull back, do a little bit of Starship 101. To do that, I've got some special guests crashing the webcast today. Joining me now in Star Factory, Elon Musk, Chief Engineer at SpaceX. Bill Riley, our VP of Starship Engineering. Thanks for being here, guys. I know we got a rocket about to get off the pad, but, let's start people off, like, high level. Like, why are we here? What the hell are we doing here?
Well, I don't know about everybody, but I'm here to try to build into the future that I imagined and dreamed of as a child, where starships with people are out among the stars exploring the universe.
Yeah, so the why, it's always important to explain the why of things. And the why of Starship is that we want to be a multi-planet species to extend consciousness beyond Earth, I think for two main reasons. One is to ensure the long-term survival and prosperity of life as we know it in consciousness, which if we are a multi-planet species and ultimately a multi-stellar species out there among the stars, the probability of survival is much, much longer. That's kind of the, defensive aspect or life insurance for life collectively. But then there also need to be things that are inspiring and exciting and that give you reason to live. Life cannot just be about solving one tragic problem after another. There must be also reasons to get up in the morning and be excited about the future. And a future where we are a space-faring civilization is infinitely more exciting than one where we are not.
And we're doing it all pretty unique location. I mean, the pad's behind us. We got rocket on the tower. We got another tower with it. We're sitting inside Star Factory. And I mean, it wasn't like this for very long. This is all pretty brand new.
Yeah, I think we moved Starship here in about the early part of 2019. So we've been coming that entire time and seeing the site evolve from a double-wide trailer and a tent where we built Starhopper to the first suborbital test flights. And now we have behind us 2 towers for the first time as we build towards the first operational flight from the second tower at the end of this year. And this beautiful building, 1,000,000 square feet, where we're able to work towards a production line of Starships.
Yeah, the SpaceX team has done an incredible job of building out really the most advanced rocket manufacturing facility that has ever existed. This is far beyond any rocket fabrication facility that has ever been built. This is essentially alien-level technology, and it was all built here basically down by the Rio Grande River and close to the beach. It's an incredibly improbable location, and this used to be a sandbar. I think we're about, 3 feet or about a meter above sea level. It really was nothing. If you see the time lapse from sandbar to two launch towers and a gigantic rocket factory with high bays, and we're going to be building something called the Gigabay, which is like one of the largest enclosed volumes on Earth. So it's sort of like a gigantic Borg cube that we're going to be building here for building and storing these gigantic rockets. It's really spectacular, and anyone can come and visit. So because we're on a public highway, and we're literally by a public beach. You can actually come and see the rocket. You quite close up. I mean, you can drive past it, and you can also look at the factory. And anyone can do this from anywhere in the world. So if you can come and visit and check it out. So I think it's pretty cool that it's
Just not right now.
just not right now.
Just not right
Obviously
now.
not when we're launching because there's some safety issues. But the rocket's often just sitting on the pad without any propellant in it, and then you can just come here and visit. It's very easy.
Yeah, I think it's a really special place. Yesterday, the ship went down the road behind us, and I saw families outside going for on Sunday going for their Sunday stroll, and they were greeted by Starship going down. And I think that from the very beginning, the thing about Starship, different than Falcon and other rockets that I'm aware of, is we designed it to be mass-produced at scale. And it's not about building one Starship and getting to orbit once. It's about doing it in a sustained and rapid way.
Yeah, we're aiming for ultimately thousands of ships to be built per year, which is what's needed in order to construct a city on Mars that is self-sustaining. And the major fork in the road of destiny will be when the Mars city is capable of surviving, even if the resupply ships from Earth stop coming for any reason. And that reason could be something cataclysmic, or it could be that that civilization simply subsided. There's always this debate throughout history of will civilization end with a bang or a whimper. But either way, if the critical thing is to get to the point where Mars is self-sustaining and can survive even if the resupply ships stop coming for any reason, which means that you need to build an entire base of industry on Mars in order for Mars to survive. For example, it's not simply enough to build a chip, like a computer chip factory, but you need the ability to build computer chip factories. So this is going to really take a lot of tonnage. I mean, my guess is at least 1 million tons to the surface of Mars, and maybe it takes less than that, but it's going to be a lot. But this is a very exciting future. It's one which will ensure the long-term survival and prosperity of life and consciousness, and it's the critical stepping stone to get from this solar system to other star systems, and perhaps go out there and explore, and perhaps we'll encounter alien civilizations that maybe they're alive now, or maybe they enjoyed a period of prosperity for millions of years, but also died out millions of years ago. So it's humbling to think of the age of the universe, according to the standard model of physics, being approximately 13.8 billion years old. So an incremental million years would be 3 digits past the decimal point. And if you look at, say, our civilization and measure our civilization by the first evidence of writing, which is about 5,500 years ago, civilization as measured from the first writing is only 1/1,000,000th of Earth's existence.
Or blip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Flash in the pan so far.
Yeah. Well, we're getting some cool shots. Rocket out on the pad right now. We tell people, like, come down, see it. It's hard to get, like, a sense of scale of just how massive this thing is. And we were able to catch somebody working on it a little while ago. And, like, part of the reason you said we're sending millions of tons, that's kind of why this thing is so massive.
I think in this image, Dan, you can actually see the person working at the bottom of the ship. And as we zoom out, you see the full ship, that sort of two-tone silver and black, and then the booster below it, right? And it really sets the scale, which doesn't come across, I think, other than in person. And when I do tours, I like to say Starship is real, Starship is big, and Starship is really big. Mm-hmm. And I think you can see there, and with the factory shots you saw earlier, again, we've got Flight 10 on the pad, but we got many more behind it.
Yeah, so I posted a video yesterday of just a brief scan of part of the Starship factory, and you can get a sense of the scale of the factory. Yeah, I guess we could talk a bit about why Starship is the way it is. Like, for example, why is half of the ship black and half of it is silver colored? And that's because the bottom half of the ship, the bottom as seen from orbital entry, has a heat shield on it. So the black there is the heat shield, and then the core structure of the rocket is a special alloy of stainless steel, and that's where you see the sort of shiny silver parts are stainless steel. The reason for steel over aluminum is that the heat of atmospheric entry and the heat of the rocket engines is enough to easily melt aluminum, but steel is much more resilient against both ascent heating, but especially the reentry heating. And you don't have to paint it, which is actually very difficult to paint a large object that is going through cryogenic cycles and have the paint stay on. It's quite challenging.
And so we've talked about it. It's massive. It obviously takes a whole lot of energy to make that thing move. And that's where Raptor really starts to come in. Most advanced engine on the planet. Giant
yes.
lightsaber.
No, that's a lightsaber and a half. You would get vaporized in an instant if you were standing in front of Raptor. So, burnt to a crisp in less than a second. So in order to create a fully reusable orbital rocket, you have to advance the state of the art in every part of the rocket. That means the engines have to be better than any engine ever. The structure's got to be better than any structure ever. You've got to have a means of bringing the rocket back to the launch pad. You've got to have a fully reusable orbital heat shield, and that no one has ever made a fully reusable orbital heat shield. The space shuttle, for example, required 9 months of refurbishment between flights. So the space shuttle heat shield would come back essentially partially broken and would require many months of refurbishment in order to fly again. What we're trying to achieve here with Starship is to have a heat shield that can be flown immediately. So the ship, both the ship and the booster, would be caught by the tower arms, and the booster would be placed immediately back on the launch stand, and the ship's got to orbit Earth at least once, but then could be back potentially in one orbit, but in most cases several orbits. So the ship would come back several hours later, but then be caught by the arms and placed on top of the booster. You can also have multiple ships ready so that a single booster could service 5 or more ships, so that you could be flying the booster in theory, every hour. This is kind of a profoundly fast speed, obviously, for the largest flying object by far ever made. But it's the reason why we catch the booster with the tower arms, and the ship also will be caught with the tower arms, because that's the fastest way to get the booster and the ship back to flight. If we had instead put landing legs, which we have done before for the ship tests, we actually had landing legs that flipped out, and the ship we've successfully demonstrated landing with legs. But if you do that, if we were to do that with the booster and the ship, here we'd have to land somewhere else with the legs, then lift the rocket, stow the legs, transport the rocket back to the pad, which is very unwieldy when you've got a gigantic thing. Then it would be picked up by these tower arms and placed in the launch mount. That would delay the reusability dramatically and would add a lot of mass with the landing legs. So that's why we catch the rocket with.
I just want to update you on something as we wait for the launch, which is hopefully going to happen in 28 minutes. So there have been a bunch of these alerts for reported shootings at libraries of colleges lately in the last few days, and none of them have turned out to be actual shootings. So there's another one now. The University of Colorado Boulder announced that they are investigating reports of shots fired at Norlin Library. There are no signs of injuries or a suspect at this time. Again, the University of Colorado says they are investigating reports of shots fired at Norlin Library. There are no signs of injuries or a suspect at this time. That comes a half an hour after the UNH, University of New Hampshire Police Department, said they responded to reports of shots fired in the library, and then they went to look and there were no shots fired, and it was a hoax call. So, anyways, we have, it appears, 2 more calls, 2 more false reports of shots fired at the Library of Colleges in the last hour we're hearing about. UNH, University of New Hampshire, and U Colorado Boulder. All right. Anyways, Elon Musk is speaking, so I want to let you hear that again. I just wanted to interrupt and mention that. Thanks to Northwoods Hiker
where we need to change
for being a member.
Either strengthening the tile or changing the how big the gap is between tiles, changing what's underneath the tile. There's a 100 different variables that we could tweak with the ship tiles, the heat shield tiles. But the only way to know exactly what we should be adjusting is to fly repeatedly and be able to examine the ship upon landing. And we have successfully brought the ship back through the atmosphere and achieved a soft landing multiple times. So we know that this is possible, but we have in the process shed many heat shield tiles. So we need to be able to do this without shedding heat shield tiles and do so repeatedly.
And I think what you're seeing now is the Starship. This is CG of it coming in and landing on the tower, much like the booster, but there's some additional challenges there where we need to make sure we don't scrape the tiles off as we slide along the chopstick
we can't
arm.
shuck the heat shield.
Don't crush the ship.
Rapid reusability.
If we shuck the tiles, then that's obviously going to fail the reusability test.
So ships can use the tower to land and catch like the booster here on Earth where towers are available. And for our initial landings on Mars and other planets, we'll need landing legs that deploy much like what you're seeing here with Ship 15 when we did our suborbital test to prove out the precision descent landing, which was a successful test. We actually landed 2. One was we were able to actually recover it, and you can see it here in the Rocket Garden if you visit Starbase.
So the Rocket Garden that Bill mentioned, we have actually a whole bunch of boosters and ships, and we'll be adding to them over time. So you can see an evolution of Starship just by driving down the highway.
Yeah. So reusability is key. There's some other technologies we're still looking to prove out. Really big one is going to be the on-orbit refilling. Looking to do that next year, and that's really what's going to kind of unlock, Starship going everywhere else, going everywhere beyond Earth. And that's something that's, again, never been done before, kind of like that reusable orbital heat shield, but it's going to be something that's kind of some of the other secret sauce to Starship, where we're going to be able to send hundreds of tons per ship to Mars.
Yeah, I like to think of it as if we get to orbit with a full cargo bay, but we're empty on fuel and oxygen. So basically, we're running on fumes. Then we send other ships to dock, transfer propellant, and now we made our 2-stage rocket look like a many multi-stage rocket. And we get all of that performance, and we can take that full cargo bay now wherever we want to go.
Yeah, so a crucial technology that we hope to demonstrate next year is this orbital refilling, much like aerial refueling. It's essential for being able to send significant payload to Mars. So you essentially send a ship to orbit with a few hundred tons of payload, sort of a filled payload bay. But once it gets to orbit, the tanks will be mostly empty, and then you send up additional tanker ships to refill the Mars ship's tanks, so that it can thrust from Earth orbit to Mars and have enough propellant left for landing. So this is orbital refilling is also not something that's ever been demonstrated before. So that would be a brand new technology. We obviously have at SpaceX figured out how to dock repeatedly with the space station. So in a lot of ways, this is like docking, and in some ways it's easier in that SpaceX is docking with its own craft. But no one has ever demonstrated propellant transfer in orbit, to the best of our knowledge, and so this would be propellant transfer at a very large scale. And but with full reusability and propellant transfer, those are the key technologies needed for building a city on Mars, and I'm confident that the SpaceX team, which is incredibly talented, will achieve these goals, and we will be landing ships on Mars in the future and building life on Mars, building greenhouses and life on Mars, and ensuring the long-term survival of life as we know it. And it's important to note here that obviously, we are effectively stewards of life here on Earth. That the other creatures cannot build spacecraft and get to other planets. So if there were to be a cataclysmic event, like a giant meteor that destroyed the dinosaurs, or ultimately the sun will expand to envelop Earth and destroy all life, we know this is an undisputed fact. Then if we don't take life to another planet, all life will be destroyed. So it's incumbent upon us to ensure that we do bring life to other planets and ensure the long-term survival of life as we know it on planet Earth.
And I mean, aside from that, there's so much that Starship unlocks by being able to do these things. Like, we'll be able to go to Mars, but there are other just transformational things by being able to take that many people, that much stuff to space for that much less money.
Yeah, I mean, I think like understanding our planet better, being able to move people around the planet, make it feel smaller and more accessible. You could go anywhere on the Earth, in less than 40 minutes, basically, in terms of flight time. So I really do see Starship as being this thing that can connect us, just like Starlink connects our information. This can connect us more physically.
Yeah. So there's really nothing faster than a rocket. Really, an orbital rocket is the fastest thing that we know of of the fastest means of transport. So, like, you could go from LA to Sydney in less than half an hour. You could go LA to Tokyo in less than half an hour. You could go from New York to Singapore in half an hour. Everything's roughly half an hour, basically. Some things might be 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, yeah, sign me up for that, please. All right, cool.
Across the Atlantic in 10 minutes, no problem.
Please, yes, sign me up.
You're going 25 times the speed of sound, so that's 30 times faster than a commercial aircraft.
And it's a whole hell of a lot better view.
Yeah, it's a hell of a view.
Yeah. All right, cool. Anything else, guys? Anything else?
Well,
you're really excited
we
about
could
coming
say
out?
a lot more.
Yeah.
Maybe we should go check in on the rocket
Yeah.
and get
All
on
right,
console.
we're going to go back on console to hopefully the weather supports the launch tonight. Yeah, thanks for tuning in, and yeah, thanks for your support.
Thanks for crashing,
bye.
guys.
All right.
We just heard from Elon Musk. We still don't know if this is happening for sure. You heard Elon talk about the weather. 19 minutes and 27 seconds left. Is this going to happen? I don't know. There was supposed to be a technical update last night from Elon Musk. So maybe they basically just did the thing they were going to do last night before the launch. They just did it tonight.
All right, that was sweet. Let's turn our attention back to the rocket. So just checking in, we are about 19 minutes and change away from liftoff. As I said right at the top, weather is going to be our primary concern. We were tracking some anvil clouds. We're hopefully clearing that on the range soon. We are not currently tracking any hardware blockers to launch, but we'll continue to follow along. If anyone was following along yesterday, we actually didn't even get into our webcast as we had a leak on one of the hoses feeding the liquid oxygen into the ship through its quick disconnect. We were able to replace that this morning. Team did an incredible job, got us into an attempt today. All right, joining me now for the rest of the day is Amanda Lee. Hi, Amanda.
Thanks, Dan. I'm super excited to be here. Let's just get right into it.
Yeah, a whole bunch has happened to get us to today's flight, our 10th flight test. Let's look back at Starship's 9th flight test in May. That did end with a rapid unscheduled disassembly on the ship and the booster.
If there's
Flight
music, I
9
can't
marked
play.
the first
we can watch
reflight
this.
of a Super Heavy booster. We saw a successful stage separation and the first ever deterministic flip, which gives us extra performance. The reused booster was flown at a much higher angle of attack to push the envelope on capabilities, which ended up causing some internal structural failure, eventually leading to a rapid unscheduled disassembly at landing burn.
Yeah, ship continued its ascent. We did see pressure drop in its main fuel tank and rise in the nose cone. We just had a camera view. We actually caught the failure on camera in the fuel pressurization system. Ship was able to complete its ascent, though, achieved its planned velocity and second stage engine cutoff.
After that, though, we did run into some issues with attitude control, which led us to skipping the payload deploy and Raptor relay demos. Starship eventually re-entered the atmosphere in an off-nominal attitude, and communication was lost approximately 46 minutes into the flight test during entry, but of course not before one heck of a light show.
Yeah. That booster rud was caused by higher than predicted forces on its structure, specifically that internal fuel transfer tube, as we were doing a higher angle of attack experiment. To fix that for remaining flights with this version of the booster, including the one behind us, we're just going to lower that angle of attack. We're relaxing those forces, and that minimizes the likelihood of structural failure.
And over on the ship side, we redesigned the part of the fuel pressurization system that failed on Flight 9, put it through a more rigorous test campaign, and after subjecting it to flight-like stresses, it did successfully run for more than 10 times the expected service life with no damage, so great test results there. Our goal is always to make it through all of the objectives we set, but any result that teaches us more about Starship performing in the real-world environment helps us to make those targeted iterations and improve quickly.
Yeah, that's how SpaceX developed our first rocket, Falcon 1. That's the same philosophy we used to develop Falcon 9, which has passed 100 flights just this year and 500 flights overall.
Yeah, incredible milestone for Falcon, and again, the way they got there was to launch, learn, and repeat.
All right, so that wasn't the only thing that happened while getting ready for Flight 10. If you followed along, Ship 36, which was originally supposed to fly on Flight 10, experienced a major anomaly during a static fire test at our Massey's test site. It was in the process of loading all of its cryogenic propellant to do a 6-engine static fire when we had a sudden energetic event that resulted in the complete loss of the Starship, and we damaged the immediate area surrounding the stand out there at Massey's.
The most likely root cause was identified as undetectable or under-screen damage to a composite overwrapped pressure vessel, or COPV, in Starship's payload bay section. To address this probable cause, we're operating the COPVs on Starship at a lower pressure and also implemented additional proofs and inspection methods.
Meanwhile, though, keep our launch schedule up, got to keep testing. The team was able to pivot and use the launch pad, the one we're on today, to do ship static fire tests. It was the first time we've ever done that.
15
Doing that
minutes
retrofit was the fastest path to get back to launch. Team was able to engineer a solution where we used a transport ring to mount the ship, routed a whole bunch of extra hoses and everything to load propellants. They knocked that out in just a matter of weeks, where we had 2 static fires on the orbital mount.
Yeah, very impressive turnaround there, getting to these static fires. These static fires gave us the data we needed to progress to launch and are a prime example of our engineer and technician teams working to build creative solutions to keep us charging forward to eventually bring Starship online.
And even while doing all of this, we're in the process of rebuilding the test stand out at Massey's to get ready for the next generation of Starship, version 3. So right now, though, we are still on track. We're looking about 14 minutes away. Again, our T0 is at 6:59 p.m. Central. While we still have a couple of moments, though, let's toss it over to Chris, who's getting ready to watch the launch out in California. How's it going, Chris?
Chris is in California.
Hey, Dan and Amanda, it's going great. And welcome everyone to the Tesla Diner here in Hollywood, California. For the first ever public showing of a SpaceX webcast, it's been great to see the webcast up here on the big screens at the diner. You know, throughout the afternoon, we've had members of the public coming up, mixing and mingling, enjoying some of the food.
Hey, really quick, while they talk about the Tesla Diner in Hollywood, I got to thank a couple people here. They actually built a Tesla diner. Thanks to Barbara Wells for being a member, Shaft for the gift memberships, Marverson, a new member, JD63, that's really generous of you, JD63, thank you. Javier Lane, thanks so much. Lonely Lego and Northwoods Hiker and David LR members, thank you. We're bringing you live coverage. So far, it looks like this launch is going to happen. Quick shout out to our mods, Janet B over there on YouTube right now. Thank you, Janet. And also on Twitch, 13 Alamo, Big Bastion Girl, Big Ball of Yarn, I Got That Fire, Matthew Kohai 3, McBritches and Sarah, Linda Bell Clary, Misha on X, Kayla Everybody, Margaret Riley, Paul Anderson on Facebook. So, let me see what they're saying here. Hold on a second here.
In space. For today's mission, Starship is outfitted with 4 Starlink terminals, allowing us to get live views of ship while in orbit and all the way down to splashdown in the Indian Ocean. Starlink satellites are built in Redmond, Washington, and that's also where we monitor the health of our entire constellation. So let's take a quick look for more on Redmond.
They're playing music, so I'll talk while they play the music. So again, Starship it's the future for SpaceX. It is this the most powerful launch vehicle ever built in the world, but it's in the testing phase. It's in the development phase. NASA is planning on using Starship to bring its astronauts to the moon, maybe as soon as 2027. But it's got to get fully developed and certified to fly safely. Also, Elon Musk wants to use it, as you were hearing, to take people to Mars. He wants to use it to increase the number of Starlink satellites that are being put into space for Starlink internet. But it's not clear. There's no guarantee it's going to work. There's no guarantee that all these tests will ultimately end up with a reliable, safe space vehicle that does what it's intended to do. Maybe it will. But this is why they're doing the testing, but we'll have to see what happens. The last 3 test flights have experienced explosions of the Starship spacecraft, and then in June, there was an explosion of the spacecraft on the ground during testing. So what's going to happen today? I mean, there's 11 minutes left. My feeling is kind of like if Elon Musk, given that he was on the broadcast for like 20 minutes, I don't know that he would have done that unless he really thought they were going to launch today. So I'm pretty optimistic this launch is going to happen. You never know, 10 minutes and 40 seconds. But given the fact that Elon Musk himself bothered to come on the stream for about 20 minutes, that suggests to me that they're thinking of launching. I would have thought, if he thought they weren't going to launch today, I would have thought he would have waited. But maybe I'm wrong about that. So we'll have to see what happens here. Did they post again, SpaceX? Let me just see if they posted anything while I've been talking. I got to wait for the music to stop playing anyway in this video before I can show it to you again. Let's see. SpaceX did not post anything new in the last half hour related to the chances of flying. And I am looking online at some other sources. I'm not seeing anything saying it's not going to happen. All right, let's see what's being said here.
V3 satellite Starship will be launching in the future. And as you can see here, once Starship reaches a nominal orbit,
10 minutes.
The payload door will slowly begin to open to prepare for deployment. The Starlink satellites will be dispatched relatively quickly, one at a time, very much like a Pez dispenser. They'll be situated in one
simulated
long stack,
satellites,
taking up as little space as possible, allowing for an efficient deployment sequence. And once a set of Starlinks is deployed, the next set advances and deploys until they are all drifting away from Starship to prepare for their on-orbit life.
This is a lot.
Starlink
That
V3
is what's supposed to happen today.
Is planned to add 60 terabits per second of capacity to the Starlink network. That's more than 20 times the capacity added with every V2 mini launch on
dummy
Falcon
satellites
9.
today.
So we're talking about a massive increase in performance all around, which will ultimately enable Starlink to serve as the communications backbone of the missions to the moon and to Mars. But for now, we're going to turn it back over to the team at Starbase.
Oh my gosh, less than 9 minutes.
Taylor.
Less than 9 minutes.
Update for everybody. So weather's still the main thing that we're watching. We are currently red on the range, hoping to clear that anvil rule any moment now.
Red on
That's
the range.
really the only thing blocking us at the moment.
Anvil
Vehicle's
clouds.
good, pads ready to go. All of our checkouts have been really smooth today after that repair work that we did this morning after we had to abort out yesterday. So we're looking at the weather. That's the thing we're really paying attention to right now.
Meanwhile, prop load is still ongoing. We started loading prop at about T-minus 53 minutes, beginning with ship fuel, ship locks, booster fuel, and finally booster locks began loading at about T-minus 35. We'll continue loading prop until just about 3 minutes before liftoff, and ship will conclude first, and then 30 seconds later, booster will
They're waiting
up.
for the cloud cover to
bottom
clear.
line, we're looking great in the vehicle. We're looking really good on the range. We're just really watching that weather. So we're still waiting to hear that that's clear. That's the only thing that could potentially stop us today.
Okay, guys.
Okay,
what's
now
going to
let's
happen?
talk about Mars, since everything we do is part of our foundational mission to get to the red planet. Each Starship launch is to learn more and more about what's needed to make life multiplanetary and to improve SHIP to the point where it's eventually taking millions of people to Mars.
That's right. We're looking ahead to begin sending the first Starships to Mars next year. These initial ones are going to go without humans. They're just going to put minimally viable landers on the surface, land right on the skirt, no legs. This will just help prove we can actually get to Mars, focus on learning just as much as humanly possible, demonstrating what's needed for Mars transit and the ultimate landing.
Then, during our next window from 2028 to 2029, we'll attempt to land the initial infrastructure and start delivering more equipment while evaluating available resources on the planet. And we'll also have Optimus on board for the ride, designed to do the initial heavy lifting.
Beyond that, by 2030, 2031, as these windows open up roughly every 26 months, we'll continue to increase the amount of payload we're sending on each ship as we're building out more infrastructure, mining resources, generating propellant for ships to come back from Mars. By 2033, we want to double the amount of payload per ship as we just get closer and closer to building a self-sustaining presence on the red planet.
Yeah, very exciting missions ahead, and these first missions to Mars are going to be crucial to setting up what we'll need for humans to eventually inhabit the planet, and we won't be doing this alone.
Right.
The Italian Space Agency and SpaceX recently signed a first-of-its-kind agreement to carry
We're
Italian
waiting to hear more about the weather. Will they launch? It depends on the weather.
These payloads will include a plant growth experiment, a weather monitoring station, and a radiation sensor.
So again,
to gather scientific data.
Less than 6 minutes till launch, but they say that there's anvil clouds, and they're waiting for the cloud cover to clear enough for them to be able to launch.
Really exciting vision. To make it happen, we're going to need to launch a whole lot more. We're going to need a whole lot of people that are going to come and help us build this. So it makes it really fun for me to come to work. I know you build these things.
100%.
It's got to be fun for you.
Yep, very exciting.
All right.
Looks like we're about 5 minutes from Starship's 10th flight test. Range is still looking good. Still have an eye on the weather at the moment. And prop load is also continuing on both stages of Starship.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up real quick. So we are we're almost closed out on the booster. We're about 90% on fuel, about 90% on LOX, just a bit below. So again, we're going to continue filling for about the next 2 minutes. Once we're completely done with that, we have about 11 million pounds of liquid propellant on board those 2 stages of Starship. So a lot of propellant to move really big rockets really fast away from South Texas. So once we get close, all of our ground systems will prepare themselves. They do what's called pushbacks. They'll clear out all of those feed lines, push back into the prop farm, and just prepare the area around it. We're doing our final guidance and navigation checks right now. The automated flight safety system is about to get armed. We're just really preparing the vehicle to get ready to go. I'm not sure if we passed it already, but we do a final thrust vector control check out. The TVC will wiggle the engines that we use to actually steer the rocket itself. Everybody's favorite topic, if we need to hold. That hold would come at T minus 40 seconds.
T minus 40 seconds.
If we're still waiting for the weather to clear, which is our big item
40
today.
seconds, he said.
Or if any other last minute issues pop up. We'll only hold there if we have an issue. Still waiting to hear confirmation that the weather has cleared. That's the only thing it looks like would hold us today. There's the business end of a Super Heavy.
Now, once we pass that T-minus 40-second mark that Dan was talking about, a number of events are going to occur in rapid succession. The ground spin and ignition systems come up to flight pressure, and ship will switch over to internal power. After that, the quick disconnect arm lockout is removed in preparation for retraction, which occurs shortly after T0. And once we pass that T-minus 40-second mark, we do still have the ability to then recycle the count under certain conditions back to T-minus 40 seconds and hold there to assess what happened, and if we can proceed again back to liftoff.
Yeah, we hope that doesn't happen, but it has previously. I promise not to psych anybody this time. We do have some kind of points of no return. Once the water starts flowing out of that flame deflector under the launch mount, that happens just a little after T-minus 10 seconds. If that triggers and then we hit a hold, that would be a scrub for the day. We have to refill the water tanks, can't turn it off, got to refill prop, all that stuff. So that's kind of the major watch item. You'll see a big splash under the launch mount, and if we see that go and then you hear a hold, that would mean that we're done for the day. But not.
What? Why did he stop talking? 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 What happened? He stopped talking. Uh-oh. Does that mean they're going to scrub it?
And yeah, I didn't disappear. Sorry, everybody.
Oh.
Listening in as the flight director for today is going through some of the final checks. We are still red on the range for weather.
Still red for weather.
We are closing out prop load right now, though.
Yeah, as we wait and hear what's going on, we can just quickly review some of the test objectives for today. On the booster side, we're of course hoping for all 33 of those Raptor engines to power our ascent ahead of hot staging. And once that stage separation occurs, booster will perform that directional flip before the
I see some sunlight.
Burn.
Look.
One of the interesting experiments we're doing today is upon our landing burn, which typically ends with those 3 center engines lit. We're going to be intentionally shutting one of those off and instead lighting one from the middle 10 ring. And this is just to kind of give us an idea of what it would look like if we ever had an engine out scenario.
Yeah, using our time to really push the envelope.
He's listening again.
And so at this point, we are fully closed out on our prop load.
All prop load done.
Coming up on a minute and 20. We are still red on the range for weather.
Red on the range.
So
they can't launch
at this
yet.
rate, looking likely we will hold at T-minus 40.
They're going to hold at 40
to see
seconds.
if we can clear that anvil cloud roll. That's
the
one blocker we currently have to a launch today.
Oh, no. What happened to the clock? The clock's gone. The clock is gone. The clock is gone. The clock disappeared. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Oh, no. Are they in a hold?
We did just get confirmation, so we are expecting to hold at T-minus 40.
Holding at 40 seconds.
We are still red on the range for weather, so look for the clock to pause in just a couple seconds. And pause. So we'll hang out here for a couple of minutes. We do have until the end of the window. We won't have 30 minutes of hold time to hang out, as we're essentially not replenishing prop on the vehicle at this point, so we have to keep a close eye on things like temperatures inside the tanks. We can only hold for so many minutes before things start to warm up. Surprise, it's hot in South Texas.
Yeah,
guys,
while we're holding here at
hold.
T-minus 40 seconds, we reviewed our test objectives for booster, but why don't we chat ship for a second? After stage separation, ship will continue onwards up through its ascent to the planned suborbital trajectory. Once it reaches there, we'll undergo SECO, or where the second stage shuts off its engines. We're hoping to deploy 8 dummy satellites today, which are modeled after Starlink V3. We're also planning to attempt a in-orbit burn, so we'll relight one of those Raptor engines while in space, and that will occur ahead of re-entry, where we'll also be testing multiple experiments, including missing tiles, metallic tiles, and intentionally loading those vehicles' flaps. And then hopefully we'll conclude today's test flight with a soft splashdown in the Indian Ocean.
Yeah, definitely want to see a ship on the other side of the planet today. We did just get a quick update, so the range is fully green. Weather is still red.
Oh.
So we are still tracking a detached anvil rule, which essentially
Anvil
there's
clouds.
an anvil cloud that's too close to our launch site, and it needs to move further away. Until it moves further away, we can't lift off. So we are expecting an update in a couple of seconds, potentially. Again, we can hang out here for several minutes. We're not actively replenishing prop. And getting an update now.
Thanks to Actually Dan. Thank you, Actually Dan. They're getting an update now. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
And we're getting a weather update right now.
Weather update. I don't know. I don't know.
And team's looking at it. Again, we're just tracking this anvil rule still. It's our only blocker today. Range is green. Vehicle is green. Weather is currently red.
Weather is red.
All right, and
what?
Sad voice coming in. We did just hear that we are still going to be red. So at this point, we are essentially transitioning this to be a wet dress. So wet dress is when we fully load prop on board the rocket.
No.
So we are going to see the clock probably start up again. But once they get down to 10 seconds, they're going to abort out, and then we will be done for the day.
Launch is being
So,
scrubbed. No!
Sad news, not going to launch today. Weather got in our way, but you can only control so much. You can't always control the weather. Can't control the weather. I wish we could control the weather. We're not there yet.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Wouldn't that be nice? So we are seeing the clock rolling, but again, we're going to get down to T-minus 10 seconds, and we're going to see that kick back out, and then we're going to start offloading all of the propellant.
It's a
that's
scrub.
on board
It
the
is a
rocket
scrub.
today. So if you
Launch
are
has
just
been
tuning
scrubbed.
yeah, it's not going. There it goes. Back to T-minus 40. So again, we essentially turned today into a wet dress.
Launch
so
is
today
scrubbed.
still ended up being the test.
Still
I
learning
froze.
something as
Hold on, I
always.
froze here.
Yeah, still
Let me
learning
unfreeze
something. We
myself.
were able to fix the issue that kind of bit us yesterday,
Standby, we are
where we
needing to
had
relaunch
a
launches.
leaky hose that was feeding liquid oxygen into the ship. But we were able to fix that, but weather got us today. So no launch today. We do have a phenomenal logistics team, though, so we should hopefully be able to replenish prop, everything. We don't have to refill all the water tanks because we didn't fire off the deflector, but we'll have to reload the prop. So very good chance that we can try again tomorrow. We'll obviously update everybody online. And, yeah, man, sorry, we couldn't go today. Don't worry, we'll probably go tomorrow.
Yeah, thank you all for joining us today, and we hope to see you when we do
Yes.
go for launch.
So obviously follow our account on X at SpaceX. We'll share information as soon as it comes available. We'll also be updating the web at spacex.com. So thanks for joining us today. Exciting countdown. Weren't able to get off the ground, but we'll give it another shot tomorrow. Thanks, everybody.
No! Oh, I don't need the clock up there anymore. Guys, no launch today. It's sad. You know what? It's sad. It's just sad. It is just sad. All right, I'll take some comments from you guys. I'm going to take some comments here. Everything was good except for the weather, they said. We got down to 40 seconds. Gabe says, imagine owned by one cloud. Fume says, I'm watching my own. Callie Raven says, that was a shame. ZZGGYY says, it happens. Sam says, scrub X. DJS says, I was wrong again, damn it. One of our viewers said, I really thought because Elon Musk came on the broadcast, I thought they were just going to launch it. Our viewer, Pre-Breakfast Banana says it will just make it when it finally launches that much sweeter. The Gulf of Measles said, boo, boo, this man, boo. I'm going to wear the same shirt and tie next time. X3 Rod 9 says, you have to be safe with a rocket that was millions of dollars. Strong One says, let's go to war against the clouds. That was sad. That was sad. Dillamon says, please cover actual launches. We got so close that time. We got so close. We got right there. Mark F says, all as I get this is his lousy t-shirt. Heuristic says, anvil clouds indicate lightning strikes, which can cause instruments to fail. I was reading something about anvil clouds online. One article I was saying, there's something on the NASA site that says anvil clouds extend the threat of natural and triggered lightning to space launch and landing operations far beyond the immediate vicinity of thunderstorm cells. I also read an article that said that anvil clouds could also contain ice particles, which could be problematic. And turbulence. Here, look at this. Cumulonimbus incus. Anvil cloud, a cumulonimbus cloud that has reached the level of stratospheric stability and has formed the characteristic flat anvil-shaped top. That's from Wikipedia. It signifies a thunderstorm in its mature stage. These clouds are commonly associated with severe weather, including heavy rain, downbursts, and occasionally a tornado. And there's a picture from Hussein Kefel of an anvil cloud on Wikipedia. So they said anvil cloud, they have a prohibition on launching with anvil clouds too close. And that's what happened today. It's sad. We tried. By the way, thanks to Smash T. Smash T says, if Elon is so smart, why doesn't he just strap a fan to the top of the rocket and blow the clouds away during launch? Also, Oxytropis, thank you. That's nice of you. Thanks for your support. And Kiwi. Thanks for Kiwi and Actually Dan for your support. And Barbara Wells. I'm really sorry. I feel so bad. I feel like I'm inviting you to an event, like a party, and it just doesn't happen. You know, like if you're hosting people. I feel like I'm inviting you, I'm hosting you for an event, and the event just stops happening. But I can't do anything about it. There's nothing I can do. B. Earhart says, third time's a charm. We almost got it. We almost got it. We got close, though. Shout out also to, again, the Launchpad for letting us use their video earlier. That was really nice of them. The Launchpad on YouTube. You can check them out. They are a popular space channel on YouTube. I'll post the link in the chat. So, well, I'm going to plan on covering this again. They said that they thought they could try tomorrow. What's the weather tomorrow? Starbase Texas weather tomorrow, it looks like partly cloudy, 87. Low precipitation possibility from Google. Basically the same weather, similar weather to today, little less humidity. Today precipitation was 35%, tomorrow 25%. So what is this? Hold on. Oh, we might cover this. Trump removes Lisa Cook. Oh, we're gonna have to do another stream. I'm getting off the air right now because President Trump said he just fired one of the Fed Board of Governors, Lisa Cook. All right, so I'm wrapping this up now. I'm going to do another stream in about 10 minutes, okay? Thanks to our mods, thanks to you. Let me get off the air. I'm coming right back on the air in about 15 minutes. So let me just get the stream set up. All right, let me get off the air. Bye, everybody. I'll be back in about 15 minutes.